Here are 4 effects and transitions you can use to turn your Instagram reel into a vintage rock classic. To set up your project, set the video format to vertical and have these settings. Upload your footage, change your length, and then change the spatial conform to film, adjusting positioning if needed. For an Instagram reel, the ideal length of your video should be 15 to 30 seconds. For a screen pump effect, skim through your footage to find the frame where you want to add the effect and press M to set a marker. Go back 2 frames, select the transform tool and add a keyframe. Go back to your marker and increase the scale of your footage to 120%. Now go forward 2 frames and change the scale back to 100%. Select your footage in the timeline and right-click to show video animation. Go to your first keyframe and drag a zoom blur effect onto your clip, bringing the amount slider to 0 and adding a keyframe. Go to your second keyframe and bring the amount slider all the way up, then bring the slider back down to 0 for your final keyframe. You can repeat these steps as many times as you like to achieve this cool effect. For a strobe effect, add an adjustment layer above your footage. In the color inspector, bring up the overall exposure of your clip, and if you need to, adjust the shadows and highlights to add more contrast to your clip. Switching to your blade tool, cut the adjustment layer on every frame, then delete every second segment. You can rearrange when the effect comes in to suit your video. I chose to use the effect every time the man strums the guitar. For a camera whip transition, find a point where movement begins, and transform your clip by adjusting and zooming onto a particular point. I chose to focus on the head of the guitar. Add a keyframe to transform your parameters, then go forward 10 to 15 frames and transform your clip to its final focus. This makes your clip move from point A to point B. In this case, the clip moves from the guitar head to the man playing the guitar. Drag a direction blur effect onto your clip. Go to your first keyframe, set the blur amount as you like, and adjust the direction of this effect to match the point A to B movement. Then go to your second keyframe and bring the amount slider to 0. This transition is great to add some dynamic movement to your music video. For a fadeaway effect, you will need a clip with movement. At the start of the movement, switch to your blade tool and cut your clip. Skip forward 10 to 15 frames and cut your clip again. Select the middle segment and hold down the Option key to duplicate the segment 3 times. Select the top copy and retime its speed to 2x. Leave the middle segment to play at normal speed and set the bottom copy to be 50% slower. Then go to the end of the clip and press Command T and adjust the transition if needed. This will give your video a cool classic rock lag when fading away. To get that vintage classic rock look, add an adjustment layer on top of your timeline. Drag Gaussian blur on the adjustment layer and set the amount to 5. Then drag Age Film and Film Grain to the adjustment layer and adjust their parameters to how you like. In the color inspector, adjust the color and saturation to fit your video. Here's the final results.